How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here again, and this time I am going to be sharing with you my thoughts on the beta. So the beta was great. I had a blast. I power leveled like a madman. I think I only slept 6 hours a night, and the rest was pretty much playing the game. And I've done all the quests, or as many as possible. I've cleared everything in even scale or Ebon scale. I've cleared everything in Great Cleave. I've cleared majority of everything in Eden's Grove. I've cleared everything in Shattered Mountain aside from one legendary quest, and that is like everything in-game related, as well as Reekwater. I cleared up to all the parts where it chains you into a five-man dungeon or arena boss fight. So these type of things I really enjoyed. The quest lines seemed to lead to unlocking certain things, and I did like that. Leveling along the way, I tried a few weapons. I did end up settling on mage weapons and things of that nature. So I wanted to set down and just kind of recap on my journey and what I thought that the game did well and what I thought needs to be improved. So we'll start with the things that need to be improved, in my opinion. So a lot of the game has a little bit of clunkiness to it when you dodge and switch weapons. There tends to be some issues that are caused. There is some bugs and things like that which we are pretty sure will get resolved, like not being able to jump or block when you do some sort of dodge animation and things that require death and basically in the game to fix it. So aside from these things, maybe just a bit of a cleanup for mechanics like that. I do notice that it's a little bit weird to interact with like things like this. Like if you want to run up and jump on something, you're kind of like stuck in an animation. It doesn't always go the right way that you want it to go. So the big theme overall is like animations tend to lock you into some odd situations that cause the game to do weird things. Um, that's the same with collision with bodies. So you have weird collision when you're trying to get like out of like three people that are hitting you. You have a bit of an oddity on that. But that being said, it's very minor to like the overall scope of the game. In the beta, we were only able to get up to level 45 storyline, which ended in this area, Restless Shore, in the dungeon called the Depths, where we confronted Captain Thorpe. Spoiler alerts. For a second time, and we're assuming that it's going to end with a final confrontation in Mirgard with Captain Thorpe, as we can see him in the arena. However, we're just not able to get in there or access it due to probably not being on the right part of the storyline. So that seems to be the theme for it. So the storyline was great all the way up to 45. It was fantastic. The level 45 dungeon was incredibly hard for being that level. He's still even hard at 60. I mean, the boss has some mechanics and some dodge and stuff like that. If you do not have a tank with a taunt gem, you're going to suffer. We figured that out along the way. And there's a lot of other things that are, interesting about that. So the dungeons in this game are very beautiful. They're very diverse. There's a lot of interaction with it. It's not just killing. There's puzzles. There's, you know, difficulties to it. There's like some roleplay aspects of it. So they kind of have like something unique in each dungeon. And it's quite pleasant to do, right? Like doing a dungeon is fun. It feels fun. And the loot feels rewarding as well. So it definitely is like a good time to do. It's also something good to do while leveling up. So I highly encourage you to grab your friends and just kind of check that out and do those things together. I like the wars. It does seem to lock a few people out that aren't necessarily within guilds. Um, for example, when I was lower level, I tried to join a war with the Syndicate and fight with them, as every faction has the ability to sign up, as long as you're not the opposing faction trying to sign up for the other side. So there was a war between Marauders and Syndicate, and I was trying to sign up to help, but they generally wouldn't take me in because I was Covenant. Even though I was the highest level on the server, they still wouldn't let me into that battle. They wanted to get their guys in. So the ability for whoever's defending and attacking to kind of hand pick those people means that you're going to need to be in that guild or be in good relations with that guild in order to participate in that. That being said, the war is not everything. I've lost a war, I've won a war. What did I get from that? It was kind of fun. Um, the strategies are nice and will evolve over time, and which I'll touch on in another video. But the big thing that I saw is for participating in the war, I received about 600 gold. I received 300 Azoth and 1,000 faction tokens. At level 60, 1,000 faction tokens are basically useless. You can get them anytime. There's tons of quests you can do. Azoth is nice. It's good to fast travel around. However, at 60, you will receive a very big supply of Azoth just from killing monsters, doing anything or everything you want to do. The gold amount that you receive, that 600, is a nice little chunk. However, there are many quests, like even if I look at my inventory right now, like let's say I do this will give us 166 gold. So I could do 3 or 4 quests and get about the same amount of gold that I would get from a war, from losing a war. For winning a war, you do get more gold. You get a bit more gold and a bit more Azoth. I think it goes up to about 1,000 gold, and a little bit more Azoth. You also receive a box, regardless of what you do, that has a piece of loot in it. I've never seen anything good come out of this box. It's always been low level gear. Based on my gear score, it's been giving me like a 520 piece or something with just random stats, most of the time greens or blues. I haven't, maybe the occasional purple, but it hasn't been anything special. And I've done a lot of wars. I've participated in every single Covenant war on this server. I've even participated in a few Marauders war when they let me in, and so it's you're not missing out on much. The one thing you do want to do is these end-game expeditions. So the expeditions are Dynasty Shipyard. It's level 55, so it's like maybe pre-end game, and then you get into the actual end game ones, which is the Garden of Genesis and the Lazarus Instrumentality, which is right here. These two are the big expeditions. I heard that Amazon has some plans for some more expeditions, as they have said. I would not be surprised to see more at launch. I would not be surprised at all. There are also arenas, this one called the Internal Pool. There is another one up here, the Siren Queen. She was actually very cool. The vocals and sound for all that stuff is awesome. I won't tell you anymore, but definitely go check out the Siren Queen arena. It's very nice. And I actually think I have a video on that, so I'll go ahead and upload that at some point, so you guys can get a look at what that's like. Um, but I would recommend doing that. There is also the Spriggan in the Eden's Grove territory, so that right here, the Spriggan Arena. So you have several options for these like 5-man bosses, and then those are like short things, and then you have the long expeditions, which is where you're getting a lot of the big loot from. So that seems to be the current end game. I see a structure for dueling. I see a structure for 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, and 5 versus 5 dueling right now. So that would make me think that in the future, it probably wouldn't be a far guess to assume that we may get something like WoW arenas. And that excites me a lot because I'm a big WoW arena fan. I love that. And being able to play 2v2, 3v3 against the best of the best is something that I really enjoy. And I want to play on that high level in that arena. So I'm hoping that's something that does come to fruition. But we will have to see how that pans out and what the timeline on that is. But that being said, this game is so fun that I'm okay with waiting for that. Like, I can log in this game, I can do quests, I can gather things. The gathering and crafting in this game is actually amazing. And if you've ever played crafting in any other game, this blows it out of the water by far. You will enjoy crafting. Me personally, I leveled up one of the skills to 200, which was insane to get there. Stone cutting, which was for the gems and the keys, as I wanted to test a few things on cooldowns for high level crafted items and things of that nature. All these professions are really nice, and I could easily see myself maxing every single one of these over time. Maybe not at the start, but over time I will get there because they do require a lot of resources and a lot of different aspects, but they're definitely fun to level up. You can make a lot of nice items. There's very unique experience in the crafting system here. So we covered PvE, a bit of PvP, and a bit of crafting, but overall, I think the game is a combination of all these things. So if you're doing every single bit of these avenues, and that's not even to mention world PvP. I've had the most fun just fighting people out in the wild. And to be honest, like there's voice comms. If you can take the heat, turn on the voice comms because it's funny and worth it. I've had some of the best interactions, enemies trying to kill me and just talking smack or taunting if you're running away, just general things like that, shenanigans. It's been great. So getting these world PvP scenarios is really fun. I personally plan to make a montage actually of just world PvP kills eventually down the line. Um, it's cool because it's very incentivized because you get weapon XP experience and loot when you kill someone. So they can drop like a bag of loot that will give you an item. It seems to also be based off of the player's level, so killing low level players will not do very much for you. And that's a good reminder. The corrupted invasion, that's another thing, is whenever the corrupted declare war on a territory, you can sign up on that. So if we look at this upcoming wars, we see a couple of wars between guilds and then also invasions. And so what the invasion is it is a 50 player defense, essentially. You defend the fort, kind of like a zombie wave mode or a tower defense, and you use the players that have signed up to stop these people from invading your fort and attacking it. You have cannons and different things of that nature, so that was also really fun for me to experience. We never got full 50 signups for like level 60s because I think you do need to be level 50 and above in order to participate in the evasion. But the way that works is that the governor of the territory gets to pick 10 people, and I believe the other 40 are chosen at random. So you will get an opportunity to do that just by pure RNG. So that's the nice thing about that one, at least. So yeah, keeping all those things into account, I found myself learning mechanics from the game, like being able to dodge and switch weapons and cancel animations. It felt very familiar to me. It reminded me of games like Super Smash Bros. Or you know, other things that had mechanics that you had to progress and evolve and train your muscle and train your memory to do in order to perform better. So these things are very nice. You know, there's a lot of skill shots and things you can get, microing and how you weave your abilities and trigger your abilities, aim your abilities. Like all these things are very fun and intricate in the system. It feels like things are alive to fight, and that really sells it for me. That heads it home. So, you know, New World has been a fantastic game so far. I really loved everything that they've been doing and how fast Amazon has been communicating and making changes within the beta. And I would like to see that same momentum carry forward. So with everything in place like that, I think we got a very, very, very good game in store for us, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. So those are my beta thoughts. Would recommend, 10 out of 10, fantastic game. And if you are thinking about trying it out, do it, because you will be having a lot of fun that you felt like you were missing before in other games. And this is bringing all that back for me. Thanks again, guys, for taking the time to watch my video. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.